Stitching in the sun. Hi there, welcome to All in Wild, Stitching in the Fens. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for sticking with me. For my new subscribers, a warm, very warm welcome. I wonder where I am today, stitching in the sun. I am actually at RHS Hyde Hall, and I'm going to include a little tour for you. So we're here for an event, for one of our shows on my art business. So, hope you enjoyed this episode. I've also got whips for you, whip updates. I've been stitching quite a lot of stuff, and even some finishes. Always good. So, anyway, let's get stuck in. Hello Stitchy friends, here we are on a lovely sunny morning at RHS Hyde Hall. I'm here for the RHS Craft in Focus craft fair, where I'm exhibiting as All in Wild Art. So I'll take you to show you the stand, but I thought it'd be really nice on this lovely sunny day in August bank holiday, to take you around and introduce you to the RHS Hyde Hall Gardens. Those of you who follow my channel will know that I did a special feature on RHS Wisley, which is the HQ of the Royal Horticultural Society. So this is one of their other gardens. This one is much smaller than the other, and it's a younger garden. So I'll tell you a little bit about the history and just take you around and show you some of the highlights of this beautiful, beautiful garden. So I'm going to flip you around so you're not looking at me anymore, and that you are looking at the glorious gardens. Right, so here we go. Hello Stitchy friends, here we are on a lovely sunny morning at RHS Hyde Hall. I'm here for the RHS Craft in Focus craft fair, where I'm exhibiting as All in Wild Art. So I'll take you to show you the stand, but I thought it'd be really nice on this lovely sunny day in August bank holiday, to take you around and introduce you to the RHS Hyde Hall Gardens. Those of you who follow my channel will know that I did a special feature on RHS Wisley, which is the HQ of the Royal Horticultural Society. So this is one of their other gardens. This one is much smaller than the other, and it's a younger garden. So I'll tell you a little bit about the history and just take you around and show you some of the highlights of this beautiful, beautiful garden. So I'm going to flip you around so you're not looking at me anymore, and that you are looking at the glorious gardens. Right, so here we go. Right, so this is the entrance to the garden as you come into it from the car park. As you can see, it's very, very beautiful. Lots of grasses and things. Now, this garden was part of a larger estate, and I'll just show you the sign there, afternoon tea, if you fancy coming for that. This garden here was, as you know, the RHS is a charity, and the garden was actually donated by a very generous couple back in the 1990s. I think it was 96 or something like that. And basically sorry about that, somebody was going by. So the garden was started in about 1996. Now, there was a garden here before because there was a manor house which was part of the estate, but the garden was planted then. Now, this garden within the RHS portfolio is quite an important one. It's quite a different one because the landscape here is quite dry and exposed and windy, so therefore they focus a lot on dry plantings, and a lot of my inspiration for my garden in the Fens is taken from this garden, because we have the very same sort of exposed position. So we're now coming up to the cafe and shop, which is here, which is very nice. There are very nice lunches and things like that in there, which is really, really good. Now, when the garden was first donated, from my research, it was 25 acres. But now, over the years, the RHS has acquired a bit more land, and the garden now is some over 300 acres of land. So let's walk up and look at some of the beautiful borders. As you can see, a lot of the plants are very airy, for those of you who are gardeners, and that allows the wind to pass through. Also, the other thing as well is that it's quite dry here, a bit like the conditions I have on the Fens, and therefore a lot of these plants are quite drought resistant. So those of you who are sort of like conscious of things like, you know, climate change and all that, this is quite a nice inspirational garden. So we're going to walk along here. I might have to cut you a few times because I don't want to have the video too long, because obviously I have my whip parade to put in as well, and I would hate to bore you if you're not really a garden person. So I'm going to pause for a bit and then we'll pick up again. Now I'm filming quite early, so because you know the public will be here soon and I don't really want to intrude. In here, that's the garden centre there, as you can see, and then they have a really good comprehensive gift shop as well. We're sort of peeking in through the windows to have a little nose, because the shop isn't open yet. You probably can't see it. You can see my reflection. Hello. So yeah, so we're going to so the shop is quite extensive, nice for gifts and things like that, and they have a very nice restaurant too. So if ever you fancy a day out. Now the Hyde Hall is not very far from North London, so for those of you who are in London, it's only half an hour by train to get here. So a nice day out really, especially if you live in the city. There's also a lovely garden centre. There's some of the plants here which they have for sale, and all the plants, obviously, as you would expect with the Royal Horticultural Society, are a very high standard. There's one of their lovely pots. They do a lot of pots here too. So we're going to pause again, and we're going to go into the gardens now, because this is just main reception. If you weren't going through the shop, you'd come in through this nice entrance. Let me see if I can show you the architecture. It's very pretty, very modern, but very nice. So that's how you'd enter. And let me see, let's go inside a little bit. So that's the reception there. So you can see it's very nice, very stylish. And they might even let me go in through reception so you can see what it would like if you enter. Obviously, as an exhibitor, I go in through the side. So we're going to walk out, and this is how you'd enter the gardens. Very nice. Look at these pots. Gorgeous, huge, beautiful pots greet you. And every year when I come to exhibit here, because I come every year, the selection of plants is different. The plant centre is over there somewhere, with lots of very nice plants and pots and things. So again, a nice day out, and I feel quite honoured to exhibit here because I can have a little look around. So I'm going to pause you once more, and then we're going to go and see some highlights of some of the beds and the sort of planted areas. Yes, so here's the plant centre. I've gotten a bit closer now to show you. As I said, it's quite early in the morning, so there are no customers here as yet. The public have not yet quite arrived. Well, some have. They're having coffee. Lucky things, because they're not working. So you can see it's quite an extensive, quite nice plant centre. The plants are very healthy. Lots of interesting and different plants as well. For somebody like me as a gardener, very tempting to be here for 4 days. So we're going to pause on that now, and we're going to go and have a look at some of the beautiful beds. This bed here is really nice. It's planted for autumn. It's got a lot of Michaelmas daisies. For those of you who know, I'm just going to home in on the Michaelmas daisies. See, they're very pretty. And they have some quite unusual varieties. If I put my hand there for scale, you can see how tiny those flowers are. Scabious here. And if I just go back a bit, you can see a view. It's sort of like a woodland garden. So a lot of these beautiful daisy-like flowers are growing on the edges of this silver birch forest. Let's see if I can home in a little. Yeah. So you can see that's very pretty and very transferable to your own garden at home, which is nice. So we're going to pause again and head off to another bit. Now here we have a pretty little woodland walk. Now back at the fens in my own garden, which we've only had for about 3 years, I have got plans to do a tiny version of this at the back of our garage, because I have a lot of Japanese aces, and it's quite windy on the fens, so therefore they need the protection. But look at this lovely edging they've done, which is just done in hazelnut sticks. You see, woven in. Something you could easily do in your own home. I think so. So yes, and it's called Birch Grove. Very nice. So you can see it there. The path meanders through. And you have lots of a lot of silver birches actually, because they stand up quite well to the wind. And they don't dry out as well. Many nice grasses, and of course, a nice place to sit, and imagine sitting and stitching there for a bit. That'd be really good. So once again, we're going to pause and move on. I thought these were very nice. They had 2 of these in the pots, and they're made out of living willow. See, they're kind of woven. We're getting close, so you have a look. See, they're growing out the top. They're quite nice, quite interesting, especially in the winter. Right, so we're about to enter the cottage garden. see what's in here. Let's go in. I've never been in here before, so we're going in together. Let's have a look. Again, one of their trademark lovely pots in the middle there. Oh, look at this feast of color. Beautiful. So we are end of August now. Last week of August. Lovely sunflowers, the rudbeckia, all these lovely. Let's see if we can get a pan round. Let's see. Beautiful. And of course a wheelbarrow, it's real life, guys. Somebody needs to look after it and you need tools. So even at the RHS, it doesn't grow by itself. Look at that sweet little pot there. That almost looks like a rhubarb forcer. They use them to cover up the new rhubarb stems in the early part of the year, so you get some early rhubarb. So there it is. And this is their little sign to explain the cottage garden there. Okay, very nice. So we're going to move on once more. So this is the next room, because they're seeing this bit is divided into garden rooms. So that is the modern country garden, and it is very, very elegant. Look at this. I mean, that is pretty nice. There you go. Again, the obligatory bench. Place to sit and stitch, or paint, or just be. There's another bench. Lots of nice benches, lovely avenues, lots of topiary, which gives it structure. And look at this border. Oh my goodness, I hope the light is good enough for you to see. There's the sun this morning, it's quite early in the morning, glistening off of these grasses. Wow, let's home in. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And a few Michaelmas daisies have escaped in here. I'm not sure they're supposed to be here, but they're in. And maybe they are, because there's some others on the other side. Beautiful clipped trees. Let's go over here and see if we can get it from another angle. I love the way they have all the benches and things, they're just so lovely. Really nice. There's the building we just came from. There's another building like that higher up in the garden, actually, a new one they've built with a spectacular view. Another restaurant, an exhibition space. This is nice too, this red sort of hedging stuff. And this one is completely enclosed as well by hedges, protected. I've got that tree in the garden, that one there, sumac tree. Okay, so we're gonna go up. I think the next thing might be the New Zealand garden. So I'm gonna pause you once more. On the way to the New Zealand garden, look what I found. Shaun the sheep. Wallace and Gromit character, in case for those of you who don't know. Look at him. Somebody's decorated him with apples and cherries, because we're in this sort of orchard here. As you can see, a lot of the plants are quite, compared to Wisley, reflecting the age of the garden, they're much more immature, but that's okay. I think it kind of helps you to envision, what you could do in your own garden. And what's attainable. So I don't know, to me it seems like that. It seems more accessible because the plants are a lot more immature, but it's still very beautiful. So we're going to head off again. So bye, Shaun. So on the way to the New Zealand garden, I noticed the marquees. So this is the Crafting Focus Contemporary Craft and Art exhibition, which we're taking part in. We will have a little quick look through the marquees as well, but I just thought I'd let you see how it sits in the landscape. So within those marquees are all the different individual stalls. The other thing is, I don't know if you can see these borders here. Now this is your typical prairie planting, and that is really the sort of planting I think will suit my garden in the fens. It's lots of grasses and daisies and things like that. They're a little bit in the distance, I'm afraid. So yeah. So what I'll do, let me pause and I'll see if I can get home in on some of the plants. So here's some of the plants close up. And how they sit together. Lots of grasses, obviously. Very inspirational for my art as well. But you can see how the wind is effortlessly blowing through them, which is the problem I have in my lovely Fenland garden, which I'm establishing. The wind sometimes can be quite fierce. Hold on, I think I've got you too zoomed up. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. You're too close. So there's the rudbeckias. I think they're rudbeckias. No, they're echinaceas actually, I think. But with those grasses. So this is has inspired how I think. Of course, I love my roses, so the roses have got to stay. And the roses do like it in the fence. But that's so nice. And a lot of these seed heads, you just leave them there, you know, these little round ones here. And in the winter, they're rather nice, in the winter sunshine. So the garden isn't bare because a lot of these plants will dry down. So let us see, look at that big grass there. Let's see if we can go find this New Zealand garden. Right, so we're in the heart of New Zealand here. We're just walking up through New Zealand. And as you can see, the whole atmosphere has changed. I've just come up that path, which is lovely, with all this pheasant grass, you know, hanging over the pathway. Really nice. And of course, no New Zealand garden would be complete without the eucalyptus tree. Hope you can see it. The sunlight is a bit bright. There's the eucalyptus. I'm going to zoom in. Beautiful grey-green leaves. Evergreen, obviously. You do need to manage them because they do get a bit big. And some nice cloud pruned plants up ahead. Okay, my battery is running low though, so I might have to come back up and film the rest of it. So I'm gonna pause you now. Yep, so I thought we'd do it on the move, off the path. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? It's so soft, look. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Catches the light so well, and so much of it. I myself have got 2 clumps in my garden, but so beautiful, the pheasant grass. Let's see, look, gorgeous, truly gorgeous. Right, so pause again. Yeah, I'm trying to save the battery. Now I've carried on. I think this is still New Zealand and Australia. However, what I have noticed is as I've gone up the hill, because I'm sort of going up a hill, if you notice the vegetation is changing quite a bit. See how small those leaves are, because you know that's how they retain the water. A lot of leaves are quite thick, but here they're mulched. But seriously, I know this is the path, but this is how dry the ground is up here, in spite of the fact that it rained quite a lot yesterday here. You know, these are all plants that can tolerate that sort of harsh, dry, probably in the winter, quite windy type of environment. Give you an idea how high we're climbing up into the garden now. If I just zoom out, can you see the distance Essex countryside over there? You can just get a little glimpse of it just about there. I mean, look at this curiosity. I think I've got one of these. I think this might be a Mumbeckia. It almost looks like it has no leaves at all, but it does. It does have tiny leaves. I have got a tiny one in my garden. Got that cloud pruned one in the middle there. That's also a member of the same family. So we're right up there, and just to show you as well how high up we are, they're the marquees we'd seen earlier. So they're right down in the valley now. Right, there's a sign for where we are. Show you the vista again. The marquees down there. I'm just going to pan you around a little. Again, so many places to sit here. So many lovely quiet little nooks, you know, where you could come and do your hobbies. Or just sit and contemplate. There's a Torbay palm. And coming out of there, I've just come in through this little quiet hidden archway, which is just there. You can see it off the main path. And we've come into like this other lovely little garden room. And this is the tropical garden, the Tetrapanic Rex, which I absolutely love. Sadly lost mine in the winter. You can see how lush the vegetation is in here, in this bed. And we've got the Musa Basju, which is the banana trees there. There you go. And the canna. And then up here, which I might have to come back and film because my battery is running a bit low. But this is the side of the new restaurant, and it's got a lovely balcony and everything, which looks out at the glorious view. In fact, let's see if we can manage to capture that. It'd be a nice way to end the video, at least this part of the garden tour. There's just so much to see. Sorry guys, I was heading to the balcony, but I had to nip in here. This is the pollinator's garden. Look at the amount of fruit on this tree. Wow, I mean, look at it. I think it's some sort of crab apple. It's just laden with fruit. And look at all the sunflowers. So lovely. Sort of an enclosed area, almost like a kitchen garden type of setting. Okay, so battery's getting a bit low. Let's see if we can get to the balcony. So here we are now on the balcony, which is outside of the new cafe, an exhibition space. There's a textile exhibition on at the minute, but I don't think I'm allowed to film that. So it's like an embroideries group. So, you know, there's the building there, quite modern. Nice decked area here. Beautiful, Imagine having lunch here or tea. Let's go around here. Yeah, lovely, lovely view. We're quite high up now, right at the top of the garden. And I think this could be a good place for me to have a coffee, to have a coffee and sit and stitch for a bit. So, hope you enjoyed that. Let's walk around the corner while I wrap up. Yeah, hope you really enjoyed that. Beautiful, beautiful. You've only seen a fraction of what's here. Look at that pot. Their pots are just legendary. And I like this gravel garden here too. So that's the pot there. Yeah, hope you really enjoyed it. Hope it might inspire you to come and visit if you're able to. It's in Chelmsford in Essex. It's in the Chelmsford countryside, and look at that. I mean, that is absolutely impressive.